So cement industry has been a real partner of the country in its growth story. If you look back at 25 years, since the economic liberalization began in early 90s, when the capacity of the industry was 50 million tons, or demand was rather 50 million tons. Today, the demand is over 300 million tons, 6x growth, which is almost about 7% compounded growth. And the industry has proactively created capacity to make sure that enough of cement is available at every point of time to meet the growing needs of the country. And cement goes into everything basic, whether you're constructing a port, or you're constructing a road, or you're constructing a factory, or you're constructing a house. All basic necessities require cement. Therefore I would say that cement industry has been a partner of the government in all these developments. The other very important role which the cement industry has played is in terms of bringing about improvement in the economic environment of some of the most backward areas. Cement plants tend to be located in very remote parts of the country because they have to be where limestone is available. And typically in the hinterland, the country was very less developed. So wherever cement industry has gone, they have done an outstanding work in terms of taking care of the basic needs of the people. For example, despite all the work that the government has done, there's a lot that was left to be done for the people and the society in terms of medical benefits. And everywhere cement industry has gone, they have set up very good medical facilities and made it available not only to their employees, but also to the larger community staying nearby, so which is helping them get access to good quality health care. Also, almost every large cement company has set up schools wherever they have the plants, which again has enabled the neighboring communities to also get advantage of top quality education. And we are very happy that some of the students who are passed out from them today might have come from different economic stratas of the society, but today are doing extremely well in life, and some of them are occupying top positions even in large multinationals in the US. So that's something which makes us feel happy about our contribution on a larger base to the well-being of the society. The other important thing which the cement industry has contributed is also around availability of water, because typically limestone is available in arid climate where the water is very scarce. Every industry has worked towards making sure that we, either through rainwater harvesting, making use of the pits that get created when there is limestone excavations, etc., creating check dams, make sure that we all become water positive. And many of the companies are today more than 2x, 3x water positive. So we'll be giving back to the society more water than we take from it. So besides this, everywhere we have created self-help groups for women, and some of them are doing extremely well. We almost run them in many of the industries on a professional basis, in the sense that we have a professionally trained team for doing our CSR work, and they have as many targets in terms of reaching out to people and making sure that the right types of benefits go to different people who are targeted for getting those benefits. So I think that's another very big contribution that the industry has made towards the society. So I think, the cement kilns operate at almost about 1400, 1500 degrees centigrade. So pretty much anything that you put in it can be burned, and as long as it has some calorific value, and be converted into a useful product. Globally, if you see, there has been a big push towards the waste material of other industries, even household waste being segregated, and those which can be burnt in the kilns being sent to the kilns for incineration. And that has helped both, one, the cement industry, because then they can reduce their environmental load, because they can use the calorific or the heat value from these waste products. and also for the larger society, because then instead of the material going into landfill or going for incineration and therefore some of the things getting released into the air, it's all getting converted into a useful product. So it's been a win-win situation. I think in India we need to again have the right policies which encourage other industries on the basis of polluter pay, because the cement industry isn't required to make a lot of investments. When you handle waste materials, hazardous materials, you have to take care of safety, so we have to make those investments. Also, the waste, municipal waste, need to be properly segregated, and the right type of waste needs to come. So a good partnership can further enable us to use these waste materials, and it could be an extremely good situation, especially in a country like India where we are land starved. So instead of using land for landfill, we are also a water starved country. So if you put something into the landfill, there are chances of it leaching out over a period of time, which will again disturb the water tables. So I think this is a very good win-win opportunity that's available to the industry. So I think the cement industry has done some very good work. Most of the cement plants in this country are new, and therefore you would find that in terms of energy efficiency, they are on par or better than most other countries. So that's clearly on one part as far as the efficiency of the plant goes. Even after that, if you see, the industry has done a lot of good work. One is that when you when you have those kilns at such high temperatures, 1400, 1500 degrees centigrade, a lot of off gases come out, and which can be utilized for generation of power. So the industry has intensified its pace of setting up waste heat recovery system, which essentially means that use that heat to convert it into power. Ideally, this should have also been classified and given the benefit of renewable power. Even though that has not been done, I think the industry proactively has done it in terms of because it helps them improve their environmental footprint. The other important thing that the industry has done is the use of alternative fuels. So despite the challenges that I talked about, I think the industry proactively has been trying to educate the people as to the advantage of using a cement plant to dispose of their waste materials rather than putting it for landfill or incineration. So industry has made a lot of progress with the government support. Maybe the pace could be even intensified and could be done even better. The other important thing which again the industry has done it is in terms of renewable power. Thanks to the government policies, now you find that solar power is very cost effective. So I think the industry has taken a lead in terms of installing solar power, so the renewable power has been a big this. So if you find that on these counts, the efficiencies, the efforts which have been led have had a very positive impact on the sustainability part of the cement operation. The other important element around sustainability is also the element around CO2 emissions, which are associated, because liberation of CO2 is a natural part of manufacture of cement. And there again, I think the dialogue has been incorrectly framed. No one ever uses cement. Now you might find this dialogue very perplexing, because everybody uses cement. But what you use is concrete, which is made out of cement. And I think the whole dialogue for sustainability therefore has to be around that end application that is there, and whatever cement you might have bought and whatever alternatives you had to achieve the same objective, how could have you achieved it? And what is the environmental impact of that entire activity? I think today the dialogue has been very narrowly focused only on cement. For example, somebody could buy cement from me and mix fly ash slag at his end and make concrete and then make a house or make a road. How is it that that environmental footprint of a cement company which meets that customer requirement in any way inferior than a company which, let's say, gives all of these packed together either as a slag cement or something else? And again, I think therefore, what is the efficiency of mixing at the plant? What is the efficiency of mixing at the end side? These are again various aspects which need to be examined. Again, if that person were not to use it, what are the alternatives he has? And what would be the environmental impact of that? I think this is where the dialogue has to shift from cement to concrete and to the end application and the life cycle analysis. I'm glad to share with you that it's not to run away from our responsibility, but to get the dialogue focused on the right things. Because when you focus on the right things, you'll get the right answers. If you focus on the wrong things, you will do some actions. They may end result of that may give you the desired result or not. So clearly, that is one direction. Having said that, industry is working on coming up with processes, because if you, let's say, can make cement after operating kilns at lower temperature, the CO2 liberation would be less. So, but those technologies are still under development. So I'm sure that as and when those technologies get developed, India would be one of the first countries to lap it up, as they have been in the past and been always at the technological frontier of adopting new technologies. But till that time also, I think even when you have those, even then the relevance of a life cycle dialogue will continue for sustainability. So I think that's one more hump which we've got to sort of cross over in framing the dialogue in the right way.